is I think the role is going to be more relevant for chartered accountants, and I'll tell you why. And the fundamental says that we are a better analyst than anyone else. The concept of subscription or SaaS model was not easy for many chartered accountants. So I think the gap is in the vision. When you talk about income tax, why they get so involved in that and not into this is because they don't see that what they see in income tax. Once they realize the value proposition of what technology can do to enhance their practice, to bring more efficiency in whatever they do, to help them serve better in lesser time and make them more effective, I think they will be adapting to it, make it more friendly and take better use of it. Again, data analytics is a huge opportunity for chartered accountants. I always say, open house, India and chartered accountants are going to be the accountants for the entire world.
It's high time for us to augment or enhance our skills into technology. So when we have this PPT completed, I think we would be the force to reckon with.
So when I go and meet people in different seminars and workshops, one single question everyone has: what is that right tool to manage my office? Chartered accountant understands the objectives of the business, the management objectives, the vision of the company come out of that. But I don't see any chartered accountants with that mindset that this is far away, this is something which we don't know. Positive that chartered accountants are going to be data scientists. They are going to analyze data for the entire world. And people are going to come back from across the world to our country to become chartered accountants.
Very small example I would like to cite with respect to the tool set, right? A couple of years back, I was conversing with one of my friends who has a chartered accountancy firm, right? They're a mid-sized firm. They have almost around 40 odd, articles in their organization, in their firm, and they were using certain, tools for their day-to-day operations. But what I noticed was these tools, right, were predominantly installed in the partners or in the manager's system rather than the people who are actually executing and doing the task, right? So, as you said, the skill set, the mindset and the tool set, right? So, skill set I can learn, right? How about and how we can change this mindset that, look, if I have to scale as a firm, right? If I have to start giving newer services to my clients, I need to have a scalable workforce, right? And to have a scalable workforce, I need to augment them with newer technologies, and they should not reside in my system, because at the end of the day, I'll just review it. I will not go do hands-on execution, right? So how can we change that mindset, right? That the tools are meant for the people who are at the execution level and not for someone at the partner level who would be more interested to bring on newer set of business for the organization.
So I will answer this question with a question. So just answer me this question. Like 100 years back, where people used to keep their money?
Yes, interesting, keeping to themselves there.
They used to have these almirahs, which was, made of iron. And then inside that, there was another key. Then there was another key. Then there was another key. And nobody in this world, nobody in the family were knowing about it. Not even the family members, not even the wife. So that is the transition which I'm talking about. Now they have learned. Now where is your money? It's just in one of your cards or one of the user IDs.
Absolutely.
So this is the transition. So this has happened to these chartered accountants. The data, the files, the informations were so important and so close to them. They wanted to keep it within themselves and never wanted to share that to others. I remember a case, you are talking about but I remember a case, there was a file, one income tax file. They copied and given it to the article to work upon, and the main file in the folder remains with them because they have that fear that what if? So slowly and slowly with this change, with this trust, with this, and when you do a session on cloud computing, The only question which is only going to come up is, is my data with me or is it on the cloud, and how secured is that? So that trust, as I said, that mindset, again, I'm going back to the same thing. It's all about transforming the mind to the better future. And that is where our role comes, your role comes. Doing these kind of podcasts will definitely help, them get a little bit of confidence and trusting people around and trusting the environment and looking into the future and believing in efficiency. And definitely there will be a risk element. If you write something on a paper and you keep it in the storage, that is more secured than you put that anywhere in Excel or anywhere else. That is more prone to, risk. But then you also have to see what is more accessible, what is more scalable, and how efficient and how far we can go from here.
Absolutely correct. And we are seeing this shift happening, right? And we chartered accountants are very much eager, or very much, what you can say, likely to embrace it in a much faster way than any other business professions.
Absolutely. I can have hundreds of examples talking on that. Talk about GST. Like how quickly we adapted to it. Talk about faceless assessment. How quickly we adapted to it. And I think even the Prime Minister is talking all about us. The President is talking all about us. So I think chartered accountants in today's economy are the major drivers for the growth of the country. And I'm a firm believer that in next 5 or 10 years, I'm so positive that chartered accountants are going to be data scientists. They are going to analyze data for the entire world, and people are going to come back from across the world to our country to become chartered accountants.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. This brings to one of my core question. That is, we are chartered accountants. We know numbers, right? We know the processes, right? But there may be a scenario that with this mammoth influx of newer technologies every day in and day out, I may feel overwhelmed that I have to learn this technology, I have to learn this tool, I have to understand at least the functioning of this tool, which would help me provide a better service to my client, right? So in order to do all this stuff, learning newer technologies, newer modus operandis, the fear is, will I become more of an IT guy, or will I still be relevant as a CA guy, knowing what sort of value proposition a certain change in the automation or certain change in the process of bringing in automation can have impact on my financials. So how this balance can be achieved so that we as chartered accountants don't become an IT guy. Okay, we learn, we use it, but we don't become more of an IT guy. That scenario.
See, with no offense, we don't want to be an IT guy. So chartered accountants will always be chartered accountant. It was, it will, and it will be in future. Now let's understand what a chartered accountant is all about, and also understand, when we talk about technology and how we can balance these roles. Chartered accountants is all about, trust. It's all about understanding numbers, not crunching numbers. It's all about, analyzing things. It's all about performances. It's all about advisory services. So taking a cue from that, when we talk about advisory services, being a specialist, creating value. When we talk about IT, a chartered accountant can work with, a single chartered accountant can work with 10 IT executives, 100 IT executives, because what is he doing? He's giving the objectives of the business. That's the core difference. Chartered accountant understands the objectives of the business, the management objectives, the vision of the company, the growth. So they will come up with those questions. And I always say, the toughest part is the question. So I think I'm on a much relaxed role than what you are. I know, you have to design the questions. I know how to answer those questions. So chartered accountants are going to have those questions. And those answers will be given by those IT executives. Once I frame what I need, once I frame what is my objective, once I know what is exactly I'm going to do and how I can take this or pull this company forward, I think that objectives, once we give that clarity to the team, whether it's a team of accountants or a team of IT or a team of whoever it is, they're all working under my objectives, under my vision, under my leadership.
Absolutely. And what are your thoughts on, taking the cue from the last question that I asked, what are your thoughts on, CA firms, whether it's be small, medium practitioner or the larger ones, they collaborating with IT companies, core IT companies, core data analytics company, core AI, service offering companies, as a joint venture working and providing services to the clients? Because we have seen.
No, I think it's a great idea. See, collaboration is the future. And I'll give you a perfect example. Like, I don't know when you last tried vanilla ice cream. I just wanted to make this little lighter so that you enjoy a couple of weeks back. How about 2-in-1? More interesting. How about a tutti frutti? Getting more better and better. But the element of vanilla remains. That is what chartered accountant is. So when you talk about collaborating with these IT companies, collaborating with these labor laws, collaborating with the forensic, collaborating with insolvency, collaborating with, many other research, we are coming up with these networking guidelines. We are coming up with this aggregation of small firms. A lot of guidelines we have released and relaxed. The idea is to give a one-stop solution to the client and tell them, yes, we are there. And that's where, again, I'm so optimistic about chartered accountant, that they will have these team of people or team of companies who work together with them. And that's why I'm using this word called interior decorator. He knows that, all right, you need this light, you need this sound, you need these things. So he's a director of the company. So if you talk about a music director or film director, do you think his role change? No. Do you think he just need to learn or understand how you can get so many technicians, so many people around to work and get a good film? That is what chartered accountants can do. So it's a great idea to work and collaborate with a lot of IT firms, because that will help them specialize, that will help them with more, resources. So, and an ability to think and think beyond. Definitely, that's a huge support which we can get.
What are your thoughts for people who still believe that technology and the newer services of analytics, AI, cybersecurity, forensic is a far away items, and they are still in the process of doing?
I don't join any chartered accountants on that thought process.
If there are some, what are your thoughts?
If there are some, I'll conduct a workshop right now, and I will try and help them come out of that. But I don't see any chartered accountants with that mindset that this is far away, this is something which we don't know. Maybe they can have challenges, but the acceptance towards the growth is always there. They may be having challenges of how I will, there's a gap, there may be a gap in the vision. There may be a gap in, lack of confidence. But I don't see the acceptance of, what is happening and how things will change in the new scenario they all are aware of. So I think that's where Institute is playing a very important role in identifying them, guiding them, helping them. And that's why we are coming up with more than 10 or 15 buildings of Center of Excellence. We have allocated almost 1,000 crores, only for Center of Excellence to have, different research happening over there, different simulations happening, a lot of practical training. And maybe we can come back to you to help us, organize these kind of practical workshops, case studies, use cases on how they can, in their firm and to their clients, they go forward and do their services. Because again, those clients are going to come back to them and say, well, you do all this, but you tell me In the bottom line, what is the change? In the top line, what is the change?
I still remember the days when I did my ITT training back in the Russell Street Center, right? Some 30 odd desktops, Tally, how to use Word, how to use Excel, PowerPoint, right? And now we are having this forensic trainings, AI training, Python. We have Python training, right? Newer tools and technology being imparted. Let me tell you,
This is just a beginning.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, considering a firm which is having, let's say, 20 odd team members, right? What is the roadmap that they are looking to make themselves ready for providing this newer set of services to their end? See, I think considering they are at zero.
I think a team of 20 people with maybe 3 or 4 partners. What they are going to do, I don't know. That is their decisions. But what a going forward approach, according to me, should be is to run around, meet people around, attend conferences, see those successful firms, their services, try to network with them, try to collaborate with them.
Rarely see people, have been to these conferences, these seminars and all. The people, the CA firms or this, we as a CA, right? We have the tendency of reaching out to you and then asking what sort of business you can give it to me, right? So I'll take my example, very small example. 7 years back when I first knew about you, right? My first intention was that I'll reach out to Mr. Sanghi, right? I'll tell what sort of services I am offering, right? He might give me some, services. So there was never an intention to learn how you transformed yourself from a traditional business from a traditional business to a newer tech-based business, right? So still there is this, so thing coming in their minds.
If I see, green color all around, I'll only think green. So when I start my articleship, what am I seeing? As a +2 student, when I'm going to a articleship to a firm, what am I seeing over there? I'm seeing the firm doing these tax audits, filing GST returns, doing these audit compliances. Again, I'm coming back to that old theory. So if you talk about those 50,000 firms in the country, almost 48,000 or 49,000 firms, 49,000, so almost 95 to 97% firm is working around that, whether there is a small firm or a big firm or a mid-sized firm. So when I go back and see that as an article, my thought process is, well, chartered accountants are made to do these. Now, once, we find firms who are into this, techno-based services and see the real value behind it. So that's why, we are organizing these huge conferences like World Forum of Accountants. We have done this World Congress of Accountants. We have done this, as you have mentioned, the 49th Regional Conference. The whole objective behind that was to give them that vision of reality, that you can do it. It's not that IT-driven companies who can do this. You can do better than them because you understand numbers better than them. They may be better coders, but you understand the numbers better than them, number one. Number two, you are more trusted in the organization than anyone else. And the management, direct connect with the management right? And you understand the objective of the business. If you can relate, if you do that flow chart, that is what you can do. If you can do that flow chart and can, present that to the management of the company and as well as, get back to the team and execute that, implement that, that is where I think once they see that as a vision that this is what I can do. Oh, really? I can do that? Oh, is this a service? Is this something which I can get paid for? Once they get that realization, I think they will get into that services.
How do you see CA firms in 2025 versus a CA firm in 2030?
Huge. I think it's automatically going to happen with the entire world, becoming a commonplace. With the huge change which the country is coming up with the huge change the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is coming up with. I think everything is going to fall in place. I don't see next 5 or 6 years, a tax bill coming in, the new tax bill coming in. I don't see the regular work, those work which currently I think, 60 to 70% of the work which the CA firms are doing, which are recurring, which are compliance based, they're all going to go away. And all of them, all this work will be transformed into a more value-based services with more use of technology. And I think the sooner we equip ourselves to that level, the better we are. And more of ERP, more of secured environment. And I think huge mergers are going to happen where, if we are looking at 80 to 85% or 75 to 80% of firms who are proprietorship firms, I foresee, again, this is my personal, thought, that will drop down to almost 30 to 40%. Maybe another 25 years down the line, I may not see any proprietorship firm or a very boutique firm which is super specialized, one-man job, or someone who is a super specialist, which is again a great thing to have. But if you are looking to serve a client, you need a one-stop solution. You need something on the table where you can give a better presentation, a better experience, a better value, a top-notch service, highly experienced job, a very professional outfit, and a team who can deliver.
Absolutely correct. And some example from your day-to-day life, your day-to-day business operations, right? You have been pioneer in advocating the use of technology, advocating the use of AI, advocating the use of newer services or data analytics, forensic audit, cyber security, right? How you kind of shifted from a traditional role of chartered accountants and more into tech-based.
This is a very dangerous question. I never wanted to answer this question, but if you've asked this, the first step is election time is as well. So I think no, this is not about election. This is about your nature. I was always a very, very lazy person. So when you are very lazy, you take more use of technology. So if you want to be more efficient, when I say lazy, I will not say not just lazy. It's more of, continued work. So once you see there's a continuity in work, immediately something tickles in the mind. How can I break that? How can I automate that? If this is something which is happening regularly, I think that is where the mindset plays a very important role. So when I see that this same thing, if you and I are meeting every day today, if you say, let's do this postcast every day, maybe every hour, I will even automate this where we both are not sitting, someone else is sitting and that is doing the same podcast. That's how the mind works. So once you see that there is a continuity in something which is happening, there should be a ring bell in your mind to say, this is something which is happening every time. How can I automate this? And I think that has driven me to get to where I am today. And that is continuous process. Even when I'm working at the institute, anything which I see that can be automated, I immediately bump into anything which I see there is a waste of time. We can do things more at less time. I think that's where, once you start feeling that, the question comes. And as soon as that question comes in, you have a solution in place. You have so many people around who can give you a solution.
Absolutely. So AI, is a generic question which gets asked, right? Is AI going to take my job?
Come on. Never. I think this started when the wheel came in. This started when the computers came in. This started when, it's never going to happen. We have made AI. It has not made us. It's never going to happen. But saying that, we cannot be overconfident. Definitely things are moving up. Definitely the expectations are rising very high. Definitely people have a very less span of attention. So in that world, which is going to increase more and more, the only thing which is available for us is run. And I use this word run again. So when I go back and say, you need to run. So they said, sir, I'm getting too old. How can I run? And how can I compete with people who are running at, 8 or 10 who has done marathon and all of that? I said, you start walking and then running, and run is all about reskilling, upskilling, and acquiring new skills. And that should be a continuous journey. You should always be in a beta mode and always make sure that you are adapting and opening yourself to everything coming your way. And you can see people who can be much, much better than you. But if you just look at them, nothing is going to happen. If you start looking at them and start walking your own pace, you will reach there for sure. And maybe you can beat them also.
Absolutely. What's your final advice to all the chartered accountants, right? As a profession, as a well-wisher of the profession, what would those top 3 advice would be from your side, which will help them in upskilling, in changing their mindset, in augmenting them? So what's your 3 top advices?
I think in the last 45 minutes, we have discussed all of that. So my 3 advices: you are the best, you are doing a great job, and you are doing great in building the country and the nation. Great.
Thanks a lot for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
It was an enriching experience sharing the podcast session with you.